I don't believe so. A little bit.
I think if anyone's going to do a wheel mix in this tournament, it'll be just me.
Shasta does it too, but
Yeah,
I don't know if he does that in race.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like optional mixes in races.
Oh, I love them. Depends though. If I feel like the run's bad, I'll definitely do it. But
well, yeah. I mean, if it's like a nothing to lose thing, like the winner of last race yesterday has to go against Shasta in the next round. So that's someone with a 1 minute, 1 hour one.
That was my race. My race against.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was your race.
It was my race. After my race, it'll be the winner of that one goes against Shasta.
Okay. Well then, that interview was slightly wrong.
Real quick. Seems that Shadows is taking the lead real quick.
Yeah, it looks like Shadows gets the double star. I don't remember if he got it last time, but he gets it now, and that's what really matters. Both of them do.
So yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, both me and Zelgan were talking about it. That it looked like our next opponent was going to be Shasta.
Okay, so it's not, and
yeah,
my guy was right.
But my race in the bracket is right below Shasta, so chances are. Anyway, let's focus on this one.
Yeah, but my point was that Shasta's going to be racing someone with a 1 hour, 1 minute time in the next round. I don't think that's much cause for him to go for a wheel mix. Hey, you did it if you want.
Rude.
Yeah.
Well, as expected from World 1, or Level 1 rather, if we're using the proper words.
I switch between them.
They're extremely close. It's mostly because it's kind of uneventful, and both of the runners are quite, what do they call that in English? Quite close to each other in level.
Skill?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's like a word in Dutch that I'm looking for in English, and I can't find it.
Well, HM got sniped by one of the hotheads there, which is like the hardest reaction in the game. What's the Dutch word?
Gewaagd.
Yeah, no, I don't speak Dutch.
No, I didn't think so. Oh, so that's what it looks like when you hold right.
Yeah.
So just as a note, I never knew that you had to hold right for the way Shadow did Mr. Frosty right there, until I commentated their previous run.
Yeah, I pointed that out, and you're like, wait, that's a thing? This guy has a 43 without having held right on that fight. Like, that's not a huge time loss, but
Well, if you can actually manage a good Frosty without holding right, I do have to say that I've gotten pretty good at doing it without holding right.
Oh, okay, you know Thomas, right?
Yeah.
He got, I think, like a 41 or a 42 without knowing that soft resetting existed.
That's the thing. That's at that level, yeah.
Yeah. HM Shape is done with Wispy first, using Spark as well, which is, I'd say, not the traditional modern way to kill him.
Though, Spark is faster on Wispy. It's just that burning is a lot faster for the stages that are coming up here in Ice Cream Island, as you can see. A lot of straight movement. And you'll see Shadows catching up quite quickly here, hopefully.
Yeah. Yesterday I kept saying, long horizontal rooms, perfect for burning and wheel, when they either forgot to get one of the power-ups or something. And HM Shape also drops Spark and gets Tornado.
No, that's fine. That's the Kirby's Adventure style of doing things.
The Kirby's Adventure style of doing things is that everything is tornado.
Not everything.
Well, a lot of things.
It is cool to see that Shape's taking the lead here. Last time it was close, like till the end. Just as a thing for people watching, this is actually a rematch because Shape had some IRL problems during the first run, and both runners agreed to do another go at this.
Dark Shadow got the double star and was able to kill the wheelie much faster than Shape, closing the gap pretty significantly right now.
So yeah, most mid-bosses die in one hit if you get a double star on them, which is very useful.
Actually, the other day, MK informed me that the only mini-bosses that die to the double star are the ones that this specifically has us double star. So that's, that first Poppy Bros, that wheelie, and the Frosties later on. But I know Bugsy and Fan and Bonkers don't die to double star.
Yep. So now the runners are basically neck and neck. That one tile gap is the devil.
Yeah. I still kill all the fish. Don't at me.
I at one point learned how to not kill the fish, and then I forgot how to do it, and now I don't know it anymore. It's like the story of me running this game right now. I just don't know it anymore.
Dark Shadows keeps picking up wheel, but I guess he forgot that he doesn't need it for this fight. Yeah.
He actually just instantly drops it. It's like, oh no.
And it was in his way to hit the enemy behind him, I think, so he wasn't able to do the optimal kill on all these Meta Knights. Do you want to talk about how they all spawn in order or something?
Yeah, sure. Like the thing is with Meta Knight, the Meta Knight fights is that whenever you kill one, the next one that spawns is set. So it's all in order, depending on which one you kill. So if you do the same pattern all the time, you get the same kills all the time. Oh,
HM Shake
going.
He went in the wrong door, and because that is behind Dark.
and
dies.
Died, grabbing said life. Okay.
We'll call it a wash.
I'd call it a brain fart.
Yeah. I just meant that he gets the life, but he loses it. So.
Oh, like that, yeah. I'd still call it a brain fart going in there.
Oh, absolutely. There are a lot of, I guess you can call them troll doors in the 90% speedrun. If you have a brain fart and go into them, like in this one, or the one we have wheel later in the run, and it's got the water in the same room. I hope you know what I'm talking about, but I can't remember the level number.
Oh, yeah.
So, while Kinnan was talking about the Meta Knights fights, you might have noticed that Dark Shadows soft reset, which essentially restores his health to full and sets his lives to 2. And it only wastes about, 3 or 4 seconds, I think?
It depends. So whenever you do that, you also skip the animation of the next door opening. And depending on how long that would take, you lose less time.
Also, but Shape got through that cannon room very cleanly.
Yeah.
Right there. He didn't take any hits from the cannons. Unfortunately, the Waddle Dee. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I was basically done, actually. I'm also really tired. I should not be doing this, but whatever, we're here. So here we got our first instance of high jump. Guess what it does?
What does it do?
It jumps high.
Whoa.
Oh, that reminds me. One time, Swordsman Kirby was commentating the Get Yourself Speedrunning tournament.
Oh boy.
And he was like, what was he saying?
HM Shape with the unfortunate death in the wheel room. He's not going to have any great ability to get through this now.
Also, Paint Roller can randomly go to any of the paintings and draw some stuff. Dark Shadows got pretty lucky with him going to the bottom left. That's usually, for top runners, that is the best pattern, because he can deal a lot of damage while he's over there. Because, like, during him moving to bottom left, you can quite easily just get in a couple of pot shots. Also, this TikTok will never cease to annoy me.
Always. I always think I kill him, and then he does the thing where he shoots the little sound circles around him.
Yeah,
and
that move is so annoying.
What were you saying about
I don't know what it is, but it's like the hitboxes change.
Yeah, it's really weird. You don't think you get hit, but you do.
Shape's having some trouble against Paint Roller, also known as Paint Troller.
Yeah, I can't tell you why that third one hit HM, but the rest of them hit Paint Roller. Dynamic hitboxes.
Yeah.
Who's ever heard of those? Oh, what were you saying about Swordsman Kirby?
This is one of the main rooms where high jump is very useful. That Shadow's in right now. Just easily get up here. And
so
then just have more.
Yeah. As I'd like to point out, this level that Dark is in is called Butter Building. So with the whole building aspect, you can guess that it's a lot of vertical rooms, a lot of straight up and down stuff, making high jump pretty indispensable for most of these levels. You really don't want to lose it.
There are actually specifically very hard strats to save it here and there. And here is Bugsy, and Bugsy is horrible. So whenever you touch Bugsy, he grabs you and does this very slow animation of like throwing you, and it's so obnoxious. Luckily Shadows managed to stay away, but I had to play very safely to do so. Also, as with any mid-boss, it has like random movement and random attacks, and it's just the worst.
Yeah. So now you can see HM getting stuck in this very vertical room without high jump, and it's slow.
It's a lot of puffing.
A lot of puffing. Yeah, I figured out during the well, just grinding out 7-2, the boss rush tower, for those of you who aren't familiar, and easily the hardest level in the game, in my opinion. And most RNG dependent level.
That mostly.
I've, used ball for it, and there have been instances where Bugsy grabs me before I hit him. So his grab box is actually bigger than his body.
Yeah. And there you see Shape getting grabbed and thrown. And again.
I mean, yeah, the silver lining, those are like the two fastest grabs or throws he can hit you with.
Yeah. So he's not a Meta Knight's fights. I wonder if... No.
Nope.
So you can do a very awesome strat here where you drop your high jump and use it... Well, not use it, but use the fact that you're vanilla Kirby to just suck up enemies. Ooh, that was scary.
That was very close.
So another thing about Nightmare in Dreamland is you see that star moving around that he keeps grabbing to get his ability back. You can actually destroy those with other stars or puffs. So you need to be very careful whenever you're doing either of those things with an ability dropped.
Unfortunately, HM kills the high jump at the bottom of that room, and has to go through the, again, very vertical section with Burning, a very horizontal ability. Again, a lot of rooms in this game can either be long and straight or high.
Yeah.
And as Dark Shadows is in a very vertical room, very high.
We actually used to do this section with Sword, but high jump was found out to be way faster. It was mostly trying to keep high jump, which was the difficulty, and with the current strats, the current iteration of strats, it saves 6 seconds doing it.
Yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed to have invincibility through the entire fight. Oh, HM is...
It was burning, right?
Oh yeah, it was. You're right,
So
you're right.
it doesn't really matter if he saves it or not. Oh,
But it
Shadows
does.
went for the risky high jump trying to get the bomb, but failed, sadly.
It's very difficult. It is... You're not going to get it very often if you're new to it. Dark Shadow's almost walking into the death zone at the bottom.
Oof. He keeps doing all these risky things, like, scary. No!
Oh, that is...
That is the most painful freeze.
Oh, and it... Right above his head, yeah. So I pointed out yesterday that there's those little enemies with the halos and the sunglasses, and they kind of look like ghosts. Their ability is that you get from it is light, which I don't think is in any other game besides Kirby's Adventure, which this is directly based off of. But
Don't remember ever seeing it in other games now.
yeah, all it does is light up the room. It doesn't damage enemies. It doesn't restore your health. All it really does is just light up those dark rooms, and it has no other use. So if you get it,
Sun or Moon?
Moon, yes,
Ah.
yes.
I'll always go for Sun.
Oh, I always go for Moon. What a commentating pair.
just to piss off Church at this point.
That's because I told you I always go for Moon in
I know. I actually used to go for Moon myself, but I switched over to the better side.
I don't know about that, buddy.
Meanwhile, we have Cocoon saying middle.
He's gonna get mad.
So here we're gonna hopefully see our first instance of UFO.
Yay.
So UFO has a charged attack with multiple stages, and with the full stage you get this giant beam like that can just pass through everything and deal a lot of damage. It's pretty useful.
It essentially is a double star, and you can just keep recharging it, so it's very strong. But the one downside of the ability is that you can't bring it through levels, or the exit door of levels, to the overworld. You actually can do that in Kirby's Adventure using glitches, and it's I think it's even used in the any % run.
Not in no major glitches, but there is a specific UFO glitch category. And let me tell you, the UFO glitch is actually quite obnoxious, because you have to what it's called, you have to drop your ability the moment you get hit, the very frame.
Oh yeah, wow.
On a 60 FPS game.
Oh, I was gonna say, please let it be 30.
I mean, it's like, it's a Kirby game. For some reason, Kirby games all have to be 60 FPS. Even KLEO 1 was 60 FPS.
Seriously?
Yes. It's the reason they lag.
I was gonna say, of course, well, HAL is usually pretty good with optimizing, but...
No. Not in the past, holy shit.
Seriously?
Have you seen Triple Deluxe at all? Have you seen?
I played it once
on a ridiculous on our original.
I have an OG 3DS. They did a good job with Smash. Kappa.
So we see another reset from Dark Shadows. Let's get back on track.
Actually, you can free Smash. Okay, yeah. Dark Shadows is in the Windy Blimp room.
By the way, the reason I know that the UFO glitch is obnoxious is because I tried doing it in the 3DS version and it's been patched in that version. Yeah,
so is the glitch where you know where you have ability and you crouch on the same frame that you hit a diagonal, that's patched as well.
I remember trying both of those for a solid hour each.
I remember you trying the corner one, the corner sliding walk through walls glitch, but
glitch,
not the other one.
And yeah, Star Alice does run at 30, but that's basically because it would be unplayable on 60 because of all the shaders.
So you're telling me that the game made in like When was KDL 1 made?
1980s?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so something made in like the 80s is running at a higher frame rate than an optimized game in 2018. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, no, so 1992.
1992.
So it's older than me even. Damn.
Yeah. Shadows going through the room with sword, making some chicken cutlets.
Tasty.
Yeah, you could always go for some. I hated the room that Dark is going through right now when I first played this game.
Oh, it was a lot of fun and very annoying casually. I never managed to get the thing.
Dark Shadows going for the double star on Fan.
But it's never enough.
Never enough. So now he has to wait for Apple RNG.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the Spark strats here over getting a double star.
Yeah, I'm not great at the Spark strats, but it always works.
2 apples. That's the main problem.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'd be fine with if it were only 1 apple, like the wheelie mid-boss later in the game. For which we use Crash. Or you could use Spark.
Yeah, if you're good enough, you use Spark. I never use Spark. I might want to learn Spark strats though. It's just better.
I'm gonna brush up on my Spark for that fight as well. Alright, MK is informing me that Fan apples are not RNG, it's just every third action is an apple. I believe that's actually the same pattern for Bugsy as well, that every third action of his is spawning the ladybugs.
It just feels like RNG because Fan is stupid.
Yeah.
So this time in the Meta Knights fight, Shadows has Throw, which is really useful to just throw around the Meta Knights to each other. And the most useful thing is that the thrown enemies go through other thrown enemies, so you could technically get multiple pot shots in one go.
Yeah, it acts like a double star pretty much, and goes through a lot of annoying projectiles like the laser forks. I don't have a better name for them.
Tridents.
True.
They're electrified tridents. It's actually called a Trident Knight as well.
Really?
All of the knights have their own name based on what weapon they use. So
well, I knew obviously there was a... Go ahead.
So you have the Axe Knight, you have the Mace Knight, you have the Spear Knight, you have the Trident Knight. And they're all annoying.
There's Sword and Blade Knights, but they're not in the Meta Knights fights. They're just the regular sword enemies. Actually, Blade Knight isn't even in this game.
Yes, he is. Both
Is
Blade Knight and Sword Knight are in this game.
Really?
Yeah. Ooh, Shape accidentally got Wheel where he actually wanted to go for Spark Strat. That's painful.
I think this happened last run.
It might have. I don't remember much of last run for some reason.
Yeah. Wheel is one of the worst abilities to have for Fan. Besides, like, Light or something.
Or Sleep. Actually,
or
sleep is the most powerful ability, my bad.
It's like, Jigglypuff's down B, right? Yeah, it's like hitting that rest.
Yeah, Kirby needs his beauty sleep. Oh, Dark Shadows went for a high jump quick grab in the last level before the boss. That saves you about 2 seconds doing that there, I think, or even only 1. Because right at the start of Krakow, you can get one for free anyways.
Yeah, it's not a very long run either.
No, I usually go for that one over the one in the final level, because I feel like it actually might not save any time doing that.
Yeah. Plus, not going for the last one and not worrying about it, if you're not at high health, you can really safely soft reset if you want.
Exactly. So the thing about fighting Krakow is that Dark Shadows is doing it some of it. Is that whenever you do a full jump, you can cancel that jump, and by canceling that jump, you can get double hits on Krakow.
So there's essentially 2 hitboxes on every high jump attack: the main jump and the cancel.
Exactly.
And if you hit, I think you have to hit every single cancel on Krako, and it saves 1 jump.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
I really suck at doing that, so I know exactly when I get it and when I don't get it.
It just feels bad when you don't get it, because it's like, you see him with that tiny little extra sliver of health.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, though. It's just extra high jump.
Oh.
5-1 is very straightforward. Yeah. Shadow's in level 5 now, world 5, whatever you want to call it.
Level 5.
And, yeah. I think 5-1 is one of the most straightforward levels in the entire game.
Yeah. I was recently going through all my levels and optimizing it, and it was like, yeah, I don't really need to do that.
I think World 5 is my favorite in the speedrun. HM Shape dies to that Scarfy, which is, if he's not bobbing up or down in the right pattern when you slide, you can get hit by him, and he does.
Yeah. So Shadows, in the meantime, is giving us our first instance of ball. And what ball basically does, it turns you into a nice little bouncing ball the size of Kirby. And it deals a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
Everyone who's ever played this game casually is like, oh, ball is just useless, you just die all the time. But believe me, in the speedrun, ball is pretty useful. Because for
as
instance,
you can,
it can 2-shot bonkers, which is pretty strong.
yeah, he didn't really need to go back and get that ball.
Everyone always does it when they're not sure.
Yeah, I did that as well. You really kind of need to.
That on instinct.
I've done that too. It's more of a panic thing. An HM Shape losing another life in this level to the Cabby.
Yeah, you could say that Shape isn't in the best of shapes this run.
I don't want to laugh at that.
Hey!
And Dark Shadows is no longer in Shape's shadow. He never really was. I don't know. Oh, he didn't go for the head
at one point.
Yeah, like in level 1-1.
No.
1-2 maybe.
2-1 he was behind as well, I think. It wasn't until 2-2 that he overtook Shape.
Oh yeah, because Shape... Oh, no.
Oh!
You just run through that section, no matter how tempted you are to use wheel.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah. He's going for granny strats through here, which is safe if you haven't practiced the faster ones. Or the wheel turn strats, which are pretty new.
I actually haven't tried that yet. How difficult would you say that is?
Very. I tried doing them today, and I just couldn't get them down, so I was like, yeah. Oh, I like this one. Shape isn't well-rounded. Or, everything is going pear-shaped for Shape.
I can't say I know that as a real saying. Going pear-shaped?
Really? You don't know that one?
Can't say that I do, honestly.
Damn. I thought I knew you, Chooch. I thought I knew you.
I guess it's a classic Dutch-English saying.
I don't want to hear Dutch-English sayings. They're horrible.
I don't know if those even exist.
I mean, you can literally translate Dutch sayings into English and they sound horrible.
Well, like, most idiomatic expressions don't really work between languages.
Exactly. Like, now the monkey comes out of the sleeve is a good one.
Yes. Can't say I frequently use that, either.
Oop. This is a good use of ball here from Shadow. You can simply fall down. It saves it saves like 6 seconds or something crazy like that over using a different ability to go down.
Yeah. Or no ability, rather. Because I think ball and stone are the only ones that affect fall speed.
Yes.
Okay, so I've been using ball to bounce through the bolts of that cannon right there, because I know you can do it without an ability, but it's like MK was telling me it's like a 4-frame window, which I'm not a huge fan of. But if you use ball, then you can bounce through the bullets on your upward attack, or your upward hit.
I don't know, I always just run through it because I practiced it. It's the lovely thing about it being at the start of the stage. You can just practice it over and over and over and over and over again. So I just spend 10 minutes doing the same, like, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So in case you ever wanted to speedrun, that's what you gotta do to become a speedrunner. Do the same 2 seconds for 10 minutes.
Don't scare them off, Kinnan.
No, you can do speedrun any way you like, as long as you have fun.
So your advice today has been do no resets, but also grind for 10 minutes on 2 seconds.
That's practice, that's not a run.
It is. It is. You're right.
I feel like this commentary is more banter than actual commentary, but whatever.
We banter about somewhat related events to the run.
Yeah. So getting through this specific room that Shadows is in without getting damaged is actually a lot harder than I thought it was.
I kind of just tank it sometimes when I get upset. It's just like...
Yeah.
Don't want to really deal
I
with
finally
that.
learned how to do it properly today.
I should look into that.
It's actually very interesting. Once you understand what's going on, it's pretty cool.
Do
yeah,
like
this
all
stage
the...
is... Nope.
Do all the wheel enemies like spawn in the same spot in the slopes? So it's like...
Somewhat, yeah. You can do the same pattern over and over again. It is consistent and practicable.
Ooh, HM dying to that spikes, getting a little poke here. My Shadow's going...
Shadow's going for the hammer mix, nice. I like that.
Yeah. It's, I don't want to discredit what he's done, but it's a fairly easy mix, since it's a first frame mix. So if you hit down and you just hold A, you're essentially guaranteed to get it. As long as you do everything right. And don't wait an hour to press the button. And by an
the
hour...
only real difficulty with that specific wheel mix is actually... Or that specific hammer mix is actually getting the 2 wheel enemies. It's actually really annoying.
Yeah, you have to time your jump pretty well and kind of skim off the wall.
Yeah. So I usually drop hammer here because it's not really necessary anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing 100%, then you do everything in your power to keep it.
Exactly. Because it's the only ability that you can use to get the switch in this level. And there's no way around it. And we're not just saying that because it's difficult, it's... You have hammer or you don't.
Yeah. That was actually pretty okay,
Yeah.
Pretty okay, 6-1 from Shadows.
That last room is very difficult to maneuver, just because of the sheer amount of enemies in it, and everything can be spaced pretty much down to the tile.
Yeah. And he did really well navigating that one.
He mixes Crash from Crash.
Oh, that's funny. I like that.
I feel like if there was any way to style during a Kirby race, then it'd be just mixing random things, like, and knowing which one you're going to get, and doing like the same thing the entire run.
Fun fact: during the co-op any % runs in Katam that I do sometimes, we actually added in a mix where I had nothing to do, so I just added in a mix for fun.
Shadow's playing it safe and inhaling that enemy because that's the only way to get the maximum tomato. If you kill the Poppy Bro first, then, or if you hit the Poppy Bro and not inhale, then it kills the apple or tomato beneath him first, and he kind of just pops up.
Excuse me.
Shape grabbing the maximum tomato.
So yeah, Shape's pretty far behind, sadly, but he's still soldiering on.
Yeah. Better than having to quit in the middle of a run.
Exactly.
So this bonkers fight right here takes 8 hits with Tornado. So he gets the 4 and 4 cycle. So it's kind of difficult to 2 cycle.
It's not too difficult, but it's very obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because Bonkers can move around randomly, he can hit you right after your combo. And the timing is very, very... like... it's very small.
Small window.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what it is with me today, but I have trouble forming sentences.
Yeah. And see, HM messed up some of the movement for the, oh, no, he wasn't going for the hammer mix. I just saw him jump and inhale in a way that looked like he was going for it. My apologies.
That's okay.
Someone in the race yesterday forgot that he actually had to finish this level before he could exit it and go to the boss fight, and was going for the hammer mix for a solid minute before he realized he had to get wheel.
No!
Yeah, that's
painful.
Shadow's
been doing some practice because he's doing some really nice strats here.
Yeah. Being very careful to keep Tornado through this level, which is a very hard section to keep your ability, because it can either die in the water or on the spikes, and you really want to keep Tornado for the next 2 levels especially.
Shape just got a wheel off of a double wheel mix.
I don't know what to say to that even.
That is beautiful.
It's dedication to the wheel.
Exactly. Honestly, for this specific mix, it's just faster to keep going out of the door rather than trying to get...
He just lined up 3 wheels and got the 3rd slot, I think.
Yeah, and he's just gonna go for the boss with Parasol. It's better than no ability.
So, I do a little trick for all the first frame mixes. I mean, it's just for safety, but... Ooh, almost lost Tornado there. Yeah, you keep your Tornado velocity when you enter water. But with first frame mixes that I have to do, which I think there's 2 of them in the run, I do a little hop, right? And then I start holding down while I'm in the middle of the jump, because you can't swallow while in midair, and hold A. So I just jump, hold down in A, and then in the second you hit the ground, you'll get your ability.
I tend to just, like, hold A before I press down. Or something like that. I don't know what I do. I used to time all of the mixes, even the first frame ones, because that's just the kind of person I am.
Yeah. Okay, so DarkShadows is going through the annoying UFO room, and... Okay, another thing about UFOs is that if you die in their room, they don't respawn a second time. Like, if you killed these Scarfies and this Cappy, they'd be here again, but the UFOs don't come back. That's why it took so long for them to appear, and there's only 2 of them now. Hopefully... 3.
Oh, is he gonna... No, he's not gonna be able to get a...
Now he won't have an ability for this double fight.
So the reason why you want to have an ability here is that you can drop it and get a double star off of your ability and the ice blocks. And right now getting a double star is possible, but it's really hard. Yeah,
the 2 Frosties both gave ice blocks actually when they spawned, so it was possible to do it, but it was very hard because they're both fast blocks. Because I think they can either shoot them at fast or slow. HM shape is flying over the enemy heavy room.
They're like 4 stages apart right now, which is about 4 minutes, I'd say. It's a lovely thing about stages is that they usually last no more than 2 minutes at most.
Yeah.
And usually average on a minute.
But ice physics in this game are very obnoxious, in my opinion.
So Kirby is already kind of a light character, and then with ice physics he just slides around like mad. But anyways, Shadow's facing a very annoying boss here. Meta Knight is always very RNG heavy, and in this game has an ability to block attacks. So where you see him like hold his sword forward, he's just blocking the damage. Oh!
Oh! How did he?
Got so lucky.
Yeah, the one redeeming thing about that fight is that you don't have to worry about losing your ability. As you saw, he got hit, but still able to live it pretty easily. HM Shape is not able to rescue the maximum tomato like Dark Shadows did, but hopefully he's able to keep it. Oh, never mind. He chooses to go without the tornado.
Commentator's curse before you even finished your sentence.
Yep. So Dark is taking Sword through this room. The old strats used to be to grab that Sparky that he just passed and use Spark to go through this whole room. But they found out Sword was faster, even after Halo Dude was on Spark's side for a bit.
Yeah, it was a Japanese runner that showed that to us, and it was pretty cool. So we're gonna see another one-frame mix if he can get the Blade Knight to work with him. He can't. So the backup here would be to kill yourself and try to get the ball again, but I think he's gonna go for the sword backup instead. Oh,
I think he's going to soft reset and then get the sword from the beginning of that room.
That might be a possibility, actually.
That's my call.
He's very low on health as well. So
that's why I said that.
Yeah. So why we are so anxious about it is that this is a boss rush, and it's a very hard boss rush. So yeah.
He goes in with no ability as well.
I think he actually mentioned this in chat as well. Before starting this race, he was, just for the hell of it, practicing abilityless 7-2.
I saw him doing that, yeah.
And he said, like, I shouldn't have practiced that. And I'm like, yep, you should have.
And here we are.
Actually the right choice here.
Hammer is significantly slow in this game.
Yeah.
And you can get punished with it in a lot of situations.
So he's gonna go for throw here, because with throw you can hold enemies inside of the bosses like this. And it deals a lot of extra damage. So he basically just killed him with one throw, which is really awesome.
Yeah, it's very similar to either Mully fight in Amazing Mirror or Squeak Squad, Mr. or Mrs. Because you can do that for both enemies.
Actually, in Amazing Mirror, we used to do that for
also no health.
Dark Meta Knight as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, that was the 0 health pixel that Firelion had.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious. And you kind of just have to go with it. Shape going through the nut shack now. Unfortunately getting hit.
You seriously called it that? Dude, let the meme die. It's been over a year now. 2017 called it, wants his meme back. Oh my god.
Yeah, the real strat, Dark Shadows, is just to fly over this room. Unfortunately, he fell just a bit too low with his burning, and reverse Icarus himself flew too close to the ground and got hit.
Oh, he goes to the wrong side here. If you go to the left and then middle, you can get past those kibbles without getting hit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he also lost his ability.
Seriously, calling it doesn't make sure. I'm still reeling over it. So yeah, you would want to have burning for this little section. It saves a little bit of time.
Long horizontal room.
Yeah.
Again. Someone just asked, what's the Nut Shack? And I think Kitten will kill me if I try to explain it.
You don't want to know. It's an old meme. It's a 2016 meme. Oh, I thought it was 17.
16? I thought it was 7? Yeah. Wow, memes.
Oh well, who's keeping track? A lot of people actually are probably keeping track. It's just the internet after all.
Random mix fire. Okay.
Sure, why not?
It might actually help in these rooms a bit, but who knows?
I usually just like to jump in and slide fast in these rooms.
Yeah.
But this works.
Actually, MK sent me videos on how to do this properly, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
I wonder how people do this Bronto Bird room, because watching Halo Dudes run, he does it actually slower than I do it. I'm very, very pleased that I saw that.
I think no one wants to, like, actually just deal with it, so it's like, just take it and leave. So
here, Shadows grabs Spark to make the upcoming rooms a little bit easier. Oof. I'm burping a bunch, I'm sorry.
So, the thing about this one that I want to mention, I know I've heard a lot of people mentioning how they liked either this or the original NES game that this was based off of, Kirby's Adventure, more. There are some rooms in this game that aren't in the original, and vice versa. So, the last windy room with all the bomb blocks is not in the original. The room after you pick up the wheelie mini-boss with the double star kill, not this one, but the other one, is not in the original game, actually.
Damn, Shadow's got some really good RNG on that wheel boss there. Basically, I think that's basically perfect RNG to get through there, to kill him that quickly.
Oh, Halo heard your comments about him.
Yeah, I know. Oof. Shadow's got wheel through there, which is really good, because that means that he can do 7-6 with wheel, which is so much faster.
Very, very fast. Not only are the rooms long, they're very flat as well. And even if you don't know the strat with it, if you were given a wheel and told to do that level, it's pretty intuitive, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, HM dies on the last Meta Knight right there. And he gets hit by the Trident.
That's the worst when that happens.
Yeah, on the ice physics one as well. You're gonna have to deal with that for 20 seconds longer than you'd like to.
Yeah. So, the level that Shadows is in is based off of KDL 1, the very first game. It was actually really great in Adventure. They actually turned everything monochrome.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad when I found out about that they didn't do that for this version. So the retro music is really nice.
But the levels in this game are something that not all runners would like to be reminded of.
Yeah.
To put it lightly, people hate it as a speed game.
Well, hate is a strong word, but strongly dislike, yeah. It's basically a dice roll simulator. You have to get really lucky to get good runs, to get, like, top runs, basically, so that's the main problem. See if he goes for the ball mix again. In his previous race... Oh, he missed it. He actually got it for the first time ever, he said.
Goes to the moon.
He goes to the moon. Why not? He is basically a full world ahead.
Yeah. HM just getting to the start of 7-1.
Kinda wanna see how he's doing compared to
I'm interested to see HM's boss tower.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh boy.
Boolin. Oh.
Shadow's doing really great against his PB as well, so we're gonna see where that leads us. Pretty good fight against DDD as well, which is mostly RNG.
Yeah.
And this is the orb. The orb is very annoying, but his pattern is completely set. He will always do the exact same attacks in the exact same order.
HM on 1 health in the boss tower as well, in the first room. This is not looking good. DarkShadows also playing very close to orb.
Oh wow, you can dodge those by being that close. I didn't know that.
Oh, was it the forward pattern? I was looking at HM's stream.
Yeah, it's the cross pattern.
Yeah.
Oh, gets through it with 1 health. That's really good because the final boss of this game you can easily do without getting hit.
It's a set pattern every single time. Not only that, but it cycles through as well. So it's kind of just the same thing over and over. So if you learn it once, you've learned it for every single non-pattern in the game. I don't know where I was going with that.
And the best thing about it is that you'll see shadows move all the way to the left here. If you stand in that corner, you will never be able to get hit unless you make mistakes.
If you stand there, you won't get hit unless you're not standing there.
Yeah, that. This is very close.
So Nightmare, the final boss, kind of just appears in Kirby's Adventure and this game as well, and it's really it for him. He doesn't do much else.
Though, in the Amazing Mirror, the Dark Mind looks a lot like Nightmare.
Very
so
similar.
A lot of people have like made comparisons.
And that is time on Dark Shadow with a 52.07.
That is a 2-minute PB on his part, so...
So say, huge PB.
That is awesome. Congratulations to him on that one.
Very good job. As Laurie's pointing out, the Nightmare music is very good. And HM
Definitely.
Shape is going back to his 3rd or 4th try in the boss tower with Cutter. Yeah, I'd rather play boss tower a lot safer than any bit aggressive, I think.
Yeah. It depends for me. I usually go for it really fast, but that's because I'm trying to be fast. But in races you wanna try and
Races are there's a reason safe strats are often called race strats.
exactly, or marathon strats.
Don't forget to follow the runners. These guys are pretty cool, especially scheduling and setting aside a time of their day to run this, and having to deal with multiple rounds. HM Shape killing the Fire Lion, which is not traditionally done, I will say.
A small note about HM Shape, by the way, in that vein of thought. He's a really new runner to the game, and he's mostly just doing this for fun, so he's not actively trying to learn strats, which is completely fine. And he's still doing quite well with his more improvised settings, and it's really cool to see people like start out speed games by just figuring things out on their own. That's actually that's a very good tip to anyone who's trying to learn a new speed game. Just try things on your own first.
Yeah. Or even if you saw like a short run or something and you feel like you can replicate it, just go for it, honestly.
Exactly.
I thought I knew Mario 64 16 star, and boy was I wrong.
Oh, that run changes every 2 months or something, I feel, lately.
Oh no, it's been pretty consistent, especially with Ouiji's new world record coming in and beating Shia's pretty long-standing time as well. But yeah, that's not Kirby, so
Yeah.
I should
I don't know. I'm not too how do you say that? Up to date in my Super Mario.
yeah.
Even though a lot of I have a couple of friends that actively run the game. So a sad thing about Tornado in this game is that it doesn't actually break blocks. In Squeak Squad, it actually finally does that, and it was the best thing ever when I found that out. But
Yeah, it's very
making
nice.
shapes like rooms very slow here.
Yeah, that's kind of a decent inconsistency throughout the series, whether or not Tornado can or can't break blocks. Because I know it can in Modern as well.
Yeah, ever since Squeak Squad, I think. Because that's just better. Not sure why they put that like limitation on there to begin with. Ooh.
Yeah. So if yeah, I can't. I was trying to think of some excuse to the developers for why I couldn't break it, but I have nothing.
I really don't know. I guess wind can't break rocks or something. That's what they thought. Even though wind erosion is definitely a thing. And
I don't think the Kirby devs think too much into that.
No. Like I said, I'm not gonna bore you with
Let's hear your environmental
geological stuff because yeah.
Let's hear your environmental facts.
For a little bit.
Let's hear about Kirby's biology.
I mean, okay. So fun fact: if we're talking about Kirby's biology, his stomach is actually the gateway to a different dimension.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sure if this is game canon, but this is definitely anime canon. And the fact that they brought Buff DDD over from anime canon kind of makes me feel like the anime canon is somewhat linked to the game canon right now.
Yeah. I think there's like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on Meta Knight from the anime that's not completely canon yet. Like the only thing is his sword is there, and it's.
And apparently he has a Spanish accent or something. I heard.
Yes, he does. He does. I've had to go around and ask a few people which accent they think is better, the Spanish Meta Knight or Southern DDD, and the answer is typically Southern DDD.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I also can't explain their his voice should be canon, absolutely. I also have no explanation for why DDD and Escargoon are 3D models while everything is flat. Everything else is flat.
Oh, really?
It's
I've seen some clips though, and sometimes I think Kirby's also a 3D model.
Kirby's occasionally 3D, but every time DDD and Escargoon, I think, are 3D.
I would like to quickly point out to make Shapes Run a little bit more exciting is that the fact that he is still currently on a 3-minute PB pace. So he's doing well for himself as well. I think we got Shadow in here. Hello, Shadow!
Well, he isn't here, but he doesn't seem to be muted either.
Oh well. Yeah, he had my push and talk key the same as my splits key, so there goes splits.
Oh!
Oh!
You're very quiet, by the way.
I can fix that real quick.
Let's see if Shape gets the ball mix. No, he gets the first one. He gets Stone. So the difficulty about that ball mix is actually the fact that it is on the second tick and not on the first tick. So you have to wait like 4 frames before you can press the button, which is usually what trips people up.
I think that each mix is active for 4 frames. So
Exactly.
the first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second one is 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's. But it's not like you can like watch it or anything. You just have to get a feel for it.
Exactly. I usually just time my inputs rather than trying to do anything fancy.
Also, Shadows, I think when you hit the split key after your run is done, it saves all your stuff.
Yeah, I did make sure it saved. That was like
Oh,
6 golds.
oh
Good job.
wow, that's amazing.
Do you,
Died on DDD, sadly.
yeah. Dark, do you split after levels or after worlds?
After Worlds, I split once I grabbed the Star Rod.
Yeah, you'll see people do both kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
that
perfect
was
fight from
amazing
HM.
RNG shape got there. That was incredible. So the thing is about DDD, he can jump around or he can try and suck you up. You don't want that to happen, because if that happens, he will knock you out of your ball. So you'll really want him to just jump up or try to jump up and stay in his little corner, and he got that. That was amazing.
There's not a ton you can do besides react to DDD. And unfortunately, there's an orb death.
Yeah. Would like to mention that after that DDD, he is 5 minutes ahead of his PB. So unless he dies another 3 times to orb, he is guaranteed a very hefty PB.
4, I think, because you have the times 0. Wait, 2, 1.
Also, yeah, Shadows, would you like to talk about your Crash and Beam mix getting another crash?
Yeah, I figured, you know what? See what I get. I guess it's a thing.
It's always the best thing when that happens. I think
Someone has it
Shape,
clipped in chat. Yeah.
Shape actually in this race got a wheel out of double wheel.
Yeah. When he was going for the hammer mix.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is mixes weren't exactly random.
Nope.
Ooh, just barely missing the bottom half of Nightmare's vulnerable, squishy insides.
Is that weird tornado thing.
Yeah.
Why is this a tornado, actually? It's kind of a weird choice.
So we really said there's all to say about Nightmare in a Shadows fight. Again, it's set, it's a cycle, so as long as you do the right thing at the right time, it's guaranteed.
Yeah, I like derped on a couple hits on mine.
Oh, that is very unfortunate,
Yeah.
cape closing timing.
Oof, you almost got hit there.
That would have been tragic.
No!
Oh, sniped! Cross stage snipe, 360 no scope.
I think that is actually the only pattern that is capable of, or the only attack that is actually capable of hitting you in that corner. But it doesn't happen very often, so that's just painful to see.
Yeah. As you noticed, if you noticed, HM actually hit the first part that Nightmare was vulnerable with his jump attack. So the spinning star rod actually does damage as well, but it does significantly less than the star. And unfortunately, I don't think that's really going to have an effect at the end. It just leaves him with barely any health left.
Yeah. Just about half a hit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All the way to the right as well. That's some bad RNG. And there we go.
It's time.
That is a 4-minute PV. So, congratulations to both runners being able to PB in this race. That's awesome to see.
Very good.
So yeah, congratulations to winning as well, Shadows.
Yeah, congratulations on staying in winners.
Thanks. We'll see how long that goes though, because I think I got what, Thomas next round.
That is a tough race.
Let me check the bracket real quick.
I'm looking for that right now as well.
Yeah, you've got Thomas up next.
That's a tough race. Thomas is he hasn't been running the game for very long, but he's been grinding it absolutely non-stop.
Yeah, he's been going crazy. He's got a 41-minute PB, which is basically among the best.
Sub 41.
Hmm?
I thought he was sub 41.
No, that was MK Cocoon.
MK.
He recently got this up 41.
That's a pretty big wall to break, but not as big as the 40. The 40 is massive, and it's very, very difficult.
Yeah. But anyways, Shadows, how did you feel about that run? Obviously good, since you golded just about everything.
Yeah, that 7-2, when I went in low health, I thought, you know what, I was practicing the ballless strats, let's give it a go. That Bugsy, though.
Yeah. That was crazy. Just a one shot with throw. That was amazing.
That was, yeah. There's something else really. Again, I said I hadn't really seen that before. You did it in the first race that you had against Shape, but I really like that now.
Yeah. I actually find it funny because before the race you were saying that you shouldn't have done a 7-2 powerless. And now you actually went for it in an actual race, so that was pretty funny.
I mean, on average, ball is probably still faster, but if I can get that down, I mean, I'll make it work.
I mean,
like I said earlier, race strats.
I mean, that's definitely, to me, that's the spirit of Nightmare in Dreamland, is you can just go ahead and work with anything you get.
Oh, yeah. Except when you mix Crash and Beam into Crash. You can't really do much with that.
Apparently, wheel with wheel isn't what we think either.
No. The game is biased.
Just make sure that, like, your car never hits another car's wheel. Or else, someone's gonna have one less than they started with.
So, I'm quickly gonna look. 'Cause I think we got another race coming up today, right?
Today? Oh, it was moved.
It was moved. Okay.
Yeah, I was originally scheduled for that, but
Oh yeah,
no
I
longer.
can see it now. Okay, then I'm gonna check the Speed Gaming schedule if I can find it somewhere.
There's something going on right now, and I think there's Dark Souls.
Yeah, they've been going at it today, I've seen. Yeah.
There's even like a late sunshine race in the dark.
On the Speed Gaming 1 channel, we currently have a Dark Souls race going on. On Speed Gaming 3, we have A Link to the Past, no major glitches. In about 15 minutes, we got a Shantae run, a Shantae race coming up on this channel. And a little later on, we got a Super Mario Sunshine run as well, or race as well. It's gonna be a very busy night. I see a lot of different games being raced on Speed Gaming. So
Yeah, very active channel. It's the hip thing in the speedrunning community to do now that all those kids are doing, you know.
I mean, we've always been doing that ever since it started, I feel.
I mean, having the organized speed gaming thing, like the central channel for races. Also, I'd like to point out the very similar scores between Dark and Shape on the end game screen.
Oh, that's pretty funny, actually. It means that
Yeah, they both died.
Your score actually gets reset on soft resetting, so
Yeah.
it's very interesting. But anyways, I think that's all from us.
That's all from me.
We should make some room for Shantae. Be sure to check out the runners. Be sure to check out us commentators. Haha,
Yes.
self-promotion.
I feel like such a show when I say it, but then it's like, am I really gonna type it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Heck it. I'm
Oh,
Kid 11. This was Chooch236, and thank you for watching.
You should type !R, !C in the chat.
And
And
the chatters are doing that for us.
Oh, bless them. Alright, have a good evening. I'll see you guys later.